Here we go, bearings 101. We have a triangle that has an angle A of 110 degrees, C is 42 degrees, and B is 28 degrees. Those all do add up to 180 degrees, which is very important. Otherwise, it would be an impossible triangle. Everybody good? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a compass and I'm going to place it at a spot. I'm going to take a compass and place it at C right now. This is north, east, south, and west. I'm going to give two types of bearings. I'm going to give a directional bearing, and I'm going to give a numerical bearing. I am currently located at C. I'm going to travel to A. If I'm going to travel from C to A, what direction am I traveling? East. So I will write east. I'm also going to give the numerical bearing. 90 degrees. Is anybody confused yet? Okay, I'm still at C. I'm going to go from C to B. What direction? Northeast. C to B, northeast. I left a space there. And there's a reason why. When we describe a bearing as northeast, that's too vague. So the question is, from the north line, how many degrees do we turn towards the east? Anybody know what that angle is? It is 48 degrees because it must make up 90 degrees. So therefore, I read this as north, 48 degrees to the east. Our directional bearings always start with north or south. From the north or south line, we then turn to the east or to the west. Now, the directional bearing, or the numerical bearing, we are at north, which is 0 degrees, and we turn 48 degrees. So my final result must be between 0 and 90. If I'm at 0 and I turn 48, I would be at 48. So the numerical bearing is 48 degrees. Time to move to a new location. We are done with C. Where would you like to move, A or B? Let's move to A. Thank you for your thoughts. Anybody know why I moved to A? Yeah. A to C. What is A to C? It is west. Got that one done. Do I have a numerical bearing to go with it? Not 90. 270 degrees. We clear on that, Samantha? That's an excellent question. Maya? Okay, look at this right here. When I'm at my location, if I'm going west, I'm going 270. Better? Okay, now I'm still at A. I'm going to go from A to B. Give me the general direction travel, go from A to B. North, east. From north, how many degrees do we turn to the east? What'd you say? 20. Why 20? How'd you get 20? Yeah, this is 90 over here, so this angle right there must be 20. Noah, we good? Okay. Okay, so again, we were at 0 and we turned 20, so therefore we are at 20 degrees for a numerical bearing. Yes, sailors. We're like sailors. I should have worn my sailor outfit today, but I didn't. Popeye? Jack Sparrow. Dress up like Jack Sparrow. Okay, I will do that. Okay. His compass, which is mathematics. So, yep. All right. Emma, where would you like to go now? Thank you, Emma and Samuel. Sam is allowed to speak whenever he wants. All right, there I am. I'm at B. You're going to go from B to A. Tell me the general direction travel will get from B to A. Southwest. Now, here's a problem. It's difficult to see what that angle is, isn't it? It is. And in fact, what we're going to do, there's a number of ways to figure it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a grid here of these northeast, southwest lines. And what it will do is allow me to have some 90-degree triangles that allow me to fill in some blanks. So for example, if this is 48 degrees right here, and I have a triangle right here that has 90 degrees and 48 degrees, what would this angle be? Yeah, 180 minus 90 minus 48, which is 42 degrees. Maybe you also notice that the 42 and the 42 are alternate interior angles. We've also learned that you guys suffer from PTSG, post-traumatic stress geometry syndrome. And so we're trying to work through that. Okay. Now, look at these three angles, 42, 28, and this unknown. They all have to add up to what? So that's going to make this. Hey, did you notice that 20 and 20, those are also alternate interior angles? So I have 20 and 90, so that would make this angle here 70. So notice the 70 and the 20 make the 90 there then as well. Okay. All right, so there we have it. We've filled in the missing angles. So let's go back to our original question, which was from B to A, southwest. So if I'm going to go from B to A from south, I turn how many degrees west? So 20 degrees. Well, B is how many, south is how many degrees? 180. Am I turning 20 past 180 or 20 behind 180? 20 past 180, which is 200. I've got one more. I'm going from B to C. So from south, how many degrees do I turn towards the west? 48 degrees. So south, 48 degrees to the west. So do I turn 48 past 180 or 48 behind 180? 48 past 180, which is 228. And there we have it. I want to be clear. There's a couple things I have to go over yet. That you have two sets of bearings. You have the numerical bearing and you have the directional bearing. Sometimes people say it's north 20 and east 20. Or they say it's south 48 and west 228. No, it's southwest 48 degrees or south 48 degrees west. And then it's 228. Those are separate. They mean the same thing. Do you understand? Second of all, look, if I'm going to travel from me to Tim, what direction am I traveling? South, or 180 degrees. If I travel from Tim to me, I'm traveling or 0 degrees. So look at that, okay? A to B, northeast. B to A, southwest. Directly opposite, right? 20, 20. B to C, southwest. C to B, northeast. 48, 48. Directly opposite. A to C, west. C to A, east. Directly opposite. We'll even try one more. I'm going to walk, because I'm really good at that. I'm going to walk, and I'm going to walk to a point. Now I'm going to turn around and walk back. How many degrees did I turn? 180. You ever heard that expression? They did a 180. They did a complete turnaround. Well, look at your numerical bearings. When you go from A to B, B to A, they're different by how much? 180, 180, 180. Excellent mathematicians always know how to check their answers in any and every situation. Just a lot of times matters whether or not you're disciplined enough to go through and do so. Cool, huh? After all, it's logic and it makes sense. No, we're not taking a break. It's a short day. All right, one more example. I'll give you your assignment. This is a 2-day lesson, but we got to do it in a day and a half. We get today and tomorrow. Nobody wants to be shipwrecked with Sam. She does not know her directions. 68 degrees, 50 degrees, 62 degrees. I find that sometimes students in these situations, they like to just go ahead and set up the grid right away. Um, I would say it's a, if I were a student like you, I would set up the grid right away. I can't say what I did when I was in high school. I was often a kind of off the map uh, mathematician. I didn't like to do things the way teachers did them. In fact, I would try to do the problems before the teacher would do them in class so that I could, I felt like if I listened to other people, it ruined my ingenuity. And I was stubborn that way. Frustrated my teachers when I got things wrong. If I got something wrong, they're like, why didn't you do it like I told you to? I'm like, because I'm an individual. So there we go. So, but I have to teach a way that I think is best for everybody, so this is the method I think is best. I drew everything out. What's this angle? 40, good. So what's this angle here? 50, very good. Because they have to add up to 180, right? Okay. And then look what I have here, 68, so this will be 22. So I'll make this 68. Notice the 50 and the 62 and 68 all do add to 180 to make that straight line. Where would you like to place yourself? What point? Let's go to A. Very good. No. So, okay, here we go. I'm going from A to B. What's the direction of travel? North. Okay. Give me a numerical bearing. 0. Awesome. Now I'm going from A to C. What's the directional bearing? North, west. So, from north, how many degrees do I turn towards the west? 68. So this is where you have to use the 0 or 360. Do we go 68 past 0, or do we do 68 back of 360? Yep. 292. All right, we're done with A. Where do you want to move to now? B, very good. B to A, what direction? South. 180. B to C. Southwest. From south, how many degrees do you turn towards the west? 50. 50 past 180, so 230. Sam, where would you like to go now? Let's go to C. Direction to go from C to B. Northeast. From north, how many degrees to the east? 50. C to A. From south, how many degrees towards the east? Yep. Let's check to see if our answers are reasonable. North, south, awesome. Southwest, northeast, 50-50. Northwest, southeast, 68, 68. Different by 180, different by 180, different by 180. Pretty good. Tomorrow, we look at more complicated examples where you don't have a direct east, south, or north, or west. Yes, question. Okay, C to B, from C to B, right? So from north, I turn this 50 degrees to the east. So that means this is 0, this is 90. So what is this line? It is 50. This angle right here is 40. Would you agree? So you could either do 90 minus 40 to get 50, or you could do 0 plus 50 to get 50. Either way, it is 50. And if you're tempted to write 40, just remember that those have to be different by 180, and they are not. All good? You can do the first 6 problems on your assignment, not the last 3. You must come tomorrow with at least the first 2 done and ready to go. Otherwise, because when you come to class, if you're confused, you're going to have to start off right away. Mr. Gens, I don't get how to do problem number 2, 3, or 4, whatever, so we can go over it. Okay?